It's hard to talk about Laramie now. To tell you what Laramie is for us.
Jedediah Schultz.
If you'd asked me before, I would have said that Laramie's a beautiful town. Secluded enough that you can have your own identity, but a town with a strong sense of community. Everyone knows everyone. But after Matthew, I'd say that Laramie is a town defined by an accident, a crime. We've become Waco, we've become Jasper. We're a noun, a definition, a sign. And we may be able to get past that, but it sure will take some time.
Journal entries. Members of the company. Andy Paris.
I've lived in Wyoming my whole life. And the family has been in Wyoming for generations. And when the time came for me to go to college, my parents couldn't afford to send me. I knew I would study theater, and I knew that if I was going to go to college, I was going to have to get in on a scholarship. And so there's this competition, it's a Wyoming State high school competition, and I knew that if I didn't take first place in duets, I wasn't going to get the scholarship. So I went to the theater department at the university, and I spoke to one of the professors, looking for good scenes, and I was like, I need a killer scene. And he goes, here you go, this is it. And it was from Angels in America. And I read it, and I knew that if I did a good enough job, I could take first place. And when the time came, I told my parents, so that they'd come to see me in the competition. And you have to understand, my parents have been there every ball game, every hockey game, everything I've ever done. And they took me into their room, and they sat me down, and they said that if I did this scene in the competition, they wouldn't come to see me, because they believed it was wrong, that homosexuality was wrong. And I didn't know what to do. I'd never gone against my parents' wishes, so I was nervous. But I decided to do it. And all I can remember about the competition is that when we were done, me and my scene partner, we came together, shook hands, and there was just standing ovation. It was amazing. We took first place and we won, and that's how I came to be here at the university, because of that scene. And thinking back on it, I think, well, why did I do it? Because I'm not gay. And I think the only honest answer I can give is that I wanted to win. It was such a good scene. It was like the best scene. But do you know Mr. Kushner? Because maybe you could tell him. Things when I, sit in church.
Jedediah Schultz.
And the Reverend flat out tells you that he doesn't agree with homosexuality. And, I feel like I'm still going through changes right now, and I don't know enough about certain things to make a decision that says homosexuality is right when I've been raised my whole life to believe that it's wrong. And speaking from a religious standpoint, I don't think that's how God intended it to happen. And I don't hate homosexuals, of course. I'm not going to persecute them like that at all. That's just not going to be getting in the way between me and the other person at all. Well, it's my parents!
Jedediah Schultz.
Okay, so my parents were like, Jedediah, what plays are you doing this year at school? And I was like, Angels in America. And they were like, Angels in America? Is that play you did in high school? That scene you did in high school? And I was like, yes. Well, are you gonna audition? And I was like, yes! And the one thing, the best thing that I knew I had on them was that I had done a production of Macbeth, and afterwards, I just killed like a little kid and Lady Duck and a lot of stuff, and I was like, Mom, I played a murderer tonight, and you didn't seem to have a problem with this. And she goes, well, homosexuality is a sin, and I go, and you know what? I'll tell you what, I have never prepared for an audition this much in my life. Never, okay? Not even close.